What's up everyone? My name is Alvaro, I'm the Associate Marketing Manager here at WebJoint, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you brand your cannabis delivery. Let's go! California is considered the land of the brands. Cannabis products are branded, and there's no reason why your cannabis delivery shouldn't be either. Hopefully, with the information you receive in this video, you'll be able to take your cannabis delivery to the next level. The first step in creating a proper brand is establishing your mission, your vision, and your values. The vision is the direction that you want to take your business in. For example, our vision is to establish ourselves as the Apple of cannabis deliveries. The mission is how you get to your vision. If you want to become the Apple of deliveries, you have to have a plan in place on how you want to get there. For example, our mission is to provide our customers friendly and fast delivery. And third is your values. This is how you execute your mission. What core principles is your delivery founded on? For example, through honesty, communication, and consistency, we're able to provide our customers the best purchasing experience. Once you've established these factors, you're ready to move on to the next steps of building your brand. The next step is the logo. The logo is going to be the image and the face of your brand, so you have to make sure to get it right. Now, the logo is an artistic choice and can vary from person to person or business to business, but this is what typically seems to work. 1. Your logo has to meet a balance of abstract and direct. Here are 3 different kinds of logos. You have your text-based, your graphic-based, and a combination of both. Take for example the graphic-based logo. Some customers would maybe know that it's related to cannabis, but not necessarily know that it's a delivery service. Because the cannabis delivery industry itself is relatively new, you want to make sure you get the point across that you are a delivery service. So including some text in your logo wouldn't be a bad idea. As your business grows and scales, you may even be able to drop the text part of the logo if the graphic alone has enough equity. For example, Nike's logo is a swoosh, not a sneaker. And Apple makes iPhones and computers, but their logo is, well, an apple. If you think those logos are a little bit abstract, you're 100% right. These companies have spent millions and millions of dollars in marketing alone and have put those efforts into building that brand equity behind the graphic. So with your logo, you want to aim for something that fits your business in a tasteful manner. I'm going to give you a few points to keep in mind while you're designing your logo. 1. The fonts have to be legible. 2. The logo can be printed in one color. 3. And I see this so much, please avoid drop shadows in any logo. And finally 4, you have to keep a balance between abstract and obvious. So take a look at the graphic on the screen. On the left hand side, you have an example of a bad logo. Notice that there's no coherent color scheme, and the font is very messy. Notice that when you print the logo on the left in one color, the leaf completely overrides the text. The logo on the right is an example of a good logo. It has a green gradient, giving it a nice coherent color scheme. And also notice that it can be rendered in one color. Because it's not always going to be printed, sometimes when you have like a t-shirt or a hat, you're going to want to embroider the logo, and you can't necessarily embroider a gradient unless you have a really, really big budget. Tip number 3, make sure you have a good website. The website is where your business lives, especially if you're a cannabis delivery with an e-commerce store. You want to make sure that your website is easily navigable. You want to give your website a clean and intuitive design. Don't overwhelm your visitors with banners or too much text or too many images. Say what you need to say in as few words as possible. Make sure that your website has a fast load time. You won't believe how many people click off the website if it doesn't load fast enough. Make sure to consult with your developer if you have any questions. The website should also be consistent with the style of your logo. If you have that green gradient logo like we discussed earlier, make sure you use the same color scheme on your website. You also want to make sure that your website is secure because you're going to be processing sensitive information like IDs, addresses, phone numbers, emails. You want to make sure that all of that info is kept safe. Keeping up with regular maintenance for your website is going to be the key to making this happen. Lastly, if you have an e-commerce shop, make sure your checkout process is as easy as possible. The more steps a customer requires to place that final order, the more likely it is that the customer will not complete the order. A quick plug here, if you're not a website developer or a designer, WebJoint can give you a free e-commerce shop for your cannabis delivery. Check it out down below. This is an example of a bad website. Notice the big banner in the middle, the text isn't formatted properly, and I know you can't tell here, but it took forever to load. And this is an example of a good website. Products are arranged properly and even have a beautiful picture to go along with it. And that actually brings us to the next tip. Tip number 4, the photos. No website or e-commerce shop is complete without photos. Make sure that the images of the products you have in your shop are professional. Sometimes you'll be able to ask the brands themselves for the stock photography. But if that photography is not available to you and you have to capture your own photos, consider purchasing a small product photography rig from eBay. They range from $20 to $40 and will give your products a whole new look. Remember though that if you do hire a professional photographer to take photos of the product, it'll bring your website and e-commerce shop to the next level, giving it a more industry standard look. And the last tip, and I think one of the most important tips, is hiring the right staff. Many people overlook this part or categorize it as something other than branding. However, we believe that the individuals working for you should encompass and embody the company's culture. The transaction is not over at checkout. That's merely where it begins. A driver will ultimately make the delivery and handle the payment. If that interaction is not seamless with your branding, you risk losing customers. Here's a scenario and some food for thought. Your brand promotes fast and friendly delivery. The checkout on the website is easy, it's fast, it's intuitive, and the customer is happy thus far. However, when the driver makes the delivery, he arrives late and is even rude to the customer. That is not consistent with your branding. And those are the 5 tips to help you brand your cannabis delivery. Now, branding is way more complicated than just 5 easy steps. But we hope that this video provided you some value and maybe some orientation on where to start. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was super helpful for you. And if you want to see more of this content, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. And also visit our blog at webjoint.com/blog.